How's it going? How's it feel?
Feels great. He's finally got the justice he's deserved.
Did you think it was going to happen?
Sorry? No, we think that this should have happened probably on day one, but the important thing is it happened. So we can't control the timing of it, but you can certainly savor the outcome.
And why do you think it was not guilty?
That's him. That's that guy.
I would like to suggest, for my talk this morning, I would like to suggest that we think about these morality issues and Biafran independence and all of the challenges that face us. We think about them within the prism of what the British author C.S. Lewis called the principle of first and second things. I know from my own personal experience that in order to understand the law, you have to first know the facts. So, in order for me to give the best, the most effective legal advice, I have to know the facts, and I'm still learning the facts. I literally yesterday texted with the Prime Minister's Finnish attorney questions about the facts, questions about what evidence was prepared by the Biafran Republic government in exile about atrocities that have occurred to Christians in Nigeria, and why wasn't some of that evidence presented to the court in Finland? So these are factual questions that I need to know in order to formulate a legal strategy so that I can apply my expertise to help the Finnish lawyers obtain the liberty of the Prime Minister.
Okay, there's a wide jubilation in Biafra because we've seen former Donald Trump advisor, and is one of his campaign manager in 2016, Joseph Skimis, has finally and is ready to take over Simon Ekpa's case. He said it's that time Simon Ekpa is left off the hook because this man is innocent. This man has not done anything against the Fulani that are holding him and against Finland government that are holding him. But a lot of people have said, can this man deliver for Simon Ekpa and the people of Biafra as against Simon Ekpa in legal arrest in Finland? And we saw what he has done with Donald Trump. And right now he said, as the former defense inspector of United States of Defense unit, is ready to set Simon Ekpa and give Simon Ekpa his freedom. What's your take as regards?
Yes, it's a good one for Simon Ekpa, and of course Biafra. Kudos and celebration continue to take the ground. But for a lot of people who does not know what actually was the mission of Joseph Skimis, who has been appointed by the U.S. government, and also he was a very influential figure within the Pentagon government as at that time, who served in different positions of the Trump government, a Trump loyalist. The news we are hearing is that the U.S. government under Donald Trump actually deployed him to Finland to meet with Mazi Simon Ekpa. He has already met Simon Ekpa and flew back to Pentagon, Washington, briefed the White House, and returned back to Finland currently, where we believe that he is having a direct engagement with the Finnish government, Alexander Stubb himself. And a lot of things were actually discovered, questions were being asked the Finnish government. The celebration there is that America has finally, changed this direction to Simon Ekpa's case, and because of the role Dr. Masenga has been playing all over the world to make sure that Biafra, have the possible face and all the people, because there is need for both Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be freed before the final declaration of Biafra, because it is coming. It is coming. It is going global. You can watch the video. You saw Joseph Skimmy. As you see that man, he is vast, learned, has some level of integrity, well respected all over the world, especially among European nations, as a man of integrity. Not only that, he said it very clearly, that he is stepping into Simon Ekpa's case now because there was a lot of errors and irregularities, which the Finnish government themselves has now acknowledged. Nigeria can never be able to, at this point now, carry out any form of further manipulation against Simon Ekpa regarding what is going on now. The American has intervened. A lot of blood, just the way we are seeing what is actually playing out on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case today. A lot of nations are getting involved. So let me just tell you very clearly, it is not a joke. These people, because the world need them to be out and engage in formalities, treaties, and possible, diplomatic ties before the Biafran official declaration that will be supported with at least 7 countries now are standing by in that regard. So it's a direct warning, yes, to Finland government, to change direction, and whatever ties, either by omission or commission he has with Nigeria, please abandon it. That's what the man said, because they are coming with fire for fire, with massive legal team from United States of America are going to storm there, because they have discovered that the process that lead to the pronouncement of that judgment did not follow this process, did not follow adequate international law in that regard, and therefore that is what has made it very, very difficult for Alexander Stubb, the Finland government, to be able to counter the position of Joseph Smith, who is being seen globally as a fearless, sophisticated, constitutional American lawyer that Donald Trump himself single-handedly deployed to Finland. Please, in case of those who do not know, we must give it to Dr. Ngozi Urabeze, for working out, doing his bit by bit. I think to understand, she doesn't make noise about it. He has submitted Biafran Declaration Charter as a government operating on its own with over 200 countries of the world. The letters and documentation are already on the table of some of the most powerful nations around the world, but people will not know. In case if there is going to be people start identifying with Biafra, you begin to wonder. So many countries that you've never had their name begin to support, and dedicate show their support, for the possible coming global leaders declaration of Biafra that is coming. What that means is that, for instance, if America today decide to recognize Biafra, you begin to see allies, countries. That's what it means. So they are put on the notice of what is going to come. But that is not just to give you an insight what that actually means. But the fact remains that the former Iraqian lawyer attached to Mazi Simon Ekpa, Gumerus, also tried as much as possible to do some other things. But I think to understand, it wasn't enough. But what he succeeded in doing is to make sure that the Finnish government, who are sitting over at the appeal, grant Mazi Simon Ekpa, they call it a Finland leave of appeal. That means the case is worthy of appeal. That's what it means. So they can now actually go to appeal. And from what we are seeing now, since they have given it leave of appeal, that is the basis where the American government now said, okay, we are going to give you one of the most powerful, influential, Pentagon renowned activist and constitutional lawyer who has engaged in so many sophisticated felony, treasonable charges all over the world, and has won almost all his cases. And from the man had an audience with Biafrans all over the world. He addressed Biafrans all over the world, and he told them very clearly, what is coming to, Biafra. He mentioned it, that God is with Biafra, and of course, Simon Ekpa will be freed any moment from now, when the date is finally, in our peak. And for him to, apart from having, a legal battle in Finland, he has also engaged the Finnish government, and to an extent, a compromise was reached with the influence of the U.S. government, because it did not just come from you. They cannot give you, American government cannot give you such a sophisticated personality who majored mostly on constitutional law to be able to just for ordinary people. They look at it deeply before they now decide, okay, this is the direction we are going, and this is what we intend doing in that regard. And you can see the deployment has actually played up completely. So the press, what you are going to witness, might surprise the world, because as at that point in time, the man was declaring, I can hear from him that it is Biafra and it is Biafra, and that Simon Ekpa did not commit any offense. And if actually Simon Ekpa commits any offense, self-determination is a right. Can Nigerian government come out? And because they have all the reports. He said what is that waiting now is that evidences of the Fulani jihad attack on Christians in Nigeria, which was what Mazi Simon Ekpa actually stood up. Then how come Nigerians are witnessing insecurity, and these are the people who stood up in resistance? How come they are being jailed? That after all, self-determination is not a crime. So on that ground, he said they are going to present a technical angle to the error committed in judgment, just like what we are hearing about, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that the Nigerian Judicial Council have already called Omotosho to order. Now Omotosho is sitting down there, and they are questioning him. Which table? Where did you see the law? Is it the one under the carpet, or the one you hide? Where did you, of what constitutional law? Yes, that do you stand on to proclaim that judgment? He is facing there this thing, and let me tell you, don't joke with this thing. They are real. Don't be surprised when the international criminal court, start descending on these people. You will know, actually, it is not just ordinary. They are as sophisticated as Biafran government in exile, as sophisticated as IPOB members all over the world. They are not leaving any stone unturned. I'm going to just tell you very clearly. I keep on saying it. Ralimo should understand very clearly that the report is not acceptable. Yes, because there's no need for giving us that kind of condition. We don't need it. What Nigerians and millions of Nigerians are asking for is that let the Northerners live the kind of life they want to live. Let them also do whatever they want to do with their culture, Sharia, and tradition. Let them do and let other people do. I think these things cannot go together. I know clearly that the world, even in America, they are standing up against Sharia and blasphemy. All over the world, people are standing up against it. And UK are battling it everywhere. Then why would you want to make it mandatory for Christians in Nigeria to, cohabit with these people? That is not what actually. I pray that Donald Trump will look into that report, and come up with another perspective entirely that will actually lead to disintegration. Let me just say it very clearly. Dr. Walid Ferrer said it very clearly. He was not mincing words. He said the only solution of not what Ralimo is talking about, and this is a former special advisor, envoy to Donald Trump on first term. Look at also my former Secretary of State to the United States has also taken the same. A lot of people, Frank Otto, a lot of people are saying it very clearly. I do not know how Ralimo actually got to that point of getting that kind of report presented to the Oval Office at the end of the day, and we are seeing people who are coming out gradually to condemn it. They might not be comfortable with it, and they're saying no, that we cannot do with that Sharia, we cannot do with that Sokoto Caliphate that you are projecting to be banned. Bola Tinubu will not understand, will not be part of it, because it looks like him too is pro-North now. You understand? He cannot. So the best thing is very clear is for the United States government to do otherwise and proclaim this in official declaration and separation of Nigeria. And that is what Dr. Walid Fares is talking about. As simple as that. So you can see that all along now, Nigeria thought they are getting this thing. They don't know they are actually losing within Nigeria and of course within the international space. Kudos to Dr. Masanga and of course kudos to Ngozi Urabese, and of course the struggle actually continues. And of course we are seeing a lot of things being played out now. We can remember that was a few days ago that Ngozi Urabese actually visited Finland. If anybody can remember, and that where everything was perfected, and it came out very clear. It's not everybody. It looks like he's a silent achiever, and somebody who does not make much noise about what he intends doing. But I can tell you, a lot of things are going around, and from what we are hearing, the Nigerian government is also aware of most of these developments that are being played around, and unfortunately they cannot be able to do anything. But don't be surprised that when ICC the International Criminal Court, ECOWAS Court and the World Court will begin to demand the immediate arrest of some of these people, because the world is beginning to notice atrocities committed against the Biafrans in Nigeria.
Okay, but Joseph Smith admitted that there were errors in Simon Ekpa's judgment. But do you not think that from what is being said about, and from the artisans of Joseph Smith, do you not think he knows that what the coming out of Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu might finally bring the restoration of Biafra finally? And at the same time, do you think that he knows for a fact that the judgment used by Finland was social media? They said the Finland court said they got evidence from Simon Ekpa's social media page that they didn't come here to Nigeria on their own to make their own investigation. Do you think that with this, Simon Ekpa might get his freedom?
Simon Ekpa is already freed. Yeah, a lot of people do not know that. For him to have access to sit with Simon Ekpa and one-on-one, and a lot of things were discussed, and also went to engage the Finnish government. The Finnish government themselves, are covering themselves now in shame. Are feeling very bad because everything they thought that would have been hidden, from the public, from the global community, and of course from the European Union, has gradually been exposed now, courtesy of the position of the United government on Nigeria. Please take note. They should take note. They are being exposed on daily basis. Atrocities committed in Nigeria have been exposed. Now we are seeing Italian government, taking a certain position. We have seen also the Vatican, the Pope, taking a position. We have seen Germany also on the same line. We have seen Australia and some of these powerful countries. And lately, the Knesset parliament in Israel. So don't think it is a joke. I think Finland government are beginning to be remorseful at this point in time. Except from the oil deals they were used, to deceive Alexander Stubb to go into that kind of unfortunate deals, just to make sure that Simon Ekpa goes to faces trial in Finland. But unfortunately, among all these things that are actually played out, the international law have indicted the Finnish government over the atrocities committed against Simon Ekpa. And that is the underlining stand where Joseph Smith is also standing, that with this and with the evidence and with the interaction he has actually engaged with the district, and for the fact that the Finnish government says that Simon Ekpa's case, having looked into it, is worthy of appeal. Please notice that it's worthy of an appeal. It is on that note now, that the Biafran government in Nigeria, which is a government on their own, has now gone to court and tell the court that the Finnish government is dealing with a government. And that government is just not ordinary government. It is a government in existence. So they are dealing with the matter as a government to government thing, So that is what the man is saying. And on that note, yes, he's saying that Simon Ekpa, any moment from now, even without appearing in the court. Once the negotiation is being concluded, the U.S. pressure, the U.S. government is on it, and of course, congratulations to Samuel Ekpa for that freedom.